just a quick story about that. So when you have, call it dive bombing, when you have executive insertions eating up the things you actually planned on working on or that are coming due, one of the things I did is I had a very small team. This is a company based in the Netherlands. I ran US for them, and so we had like four marketing teams, pretty small. And one of the things I was told when I was hired, because we were introducing Agile Marketing, was that, oh, but your boss, Anthony, he's the guy who is the executive inserter. So he's like the big offender. So you don't understand what you're walking into. This whole thing won't work. It's like, well, we're going to go for it. And one of the things we did is we documented who the source request came from when it came in. And so we had a matrix of urgent and important. If it met both criteria, we would do it. Well, his executive insertion was such that he made it urgent and important. So we said, sure. And I told my team, who was very frustrated by this, this is why this is hard. This is why it's so hard to get things done, and people don't understand why we're late on certain things. And there's a reason. And I said, we're just going to track this, and if you'll just trust me, in 6 months we'll have enough data. And in 6 months, I had an executive meeting, including my boss, and I said, there are 3 slides in this presentation. All of it is data and it's all validated, so there's no opinion. There are also names on this chart, and no one is to be see that as an indictment. It's just true. So the names are just true for context. In the first chart, I showed the total amount of work that we had tracked, measured, and done, and the impact of that work, because it was marketing, so we had some really good metrics to be able to tie back to the total amount of things we've delivered. The second chart showed the work that we prioritized, the things we said we were going to do, the things we committed to, that we got done, and the outcomes of that. The third chart was all of those insertions from anybody. Well, like 86% of them were my boss. And so here's his name next to a bunch of stuff. And the thing that was really powerful is I said, and here's the outcome of that work. And statistically, it was 1/5 as effective as the work that we planned on doing. So we were 500% more effective if he would just give us the time to do things. But when you make us do it quickly, the effectiveness goes down. So I looked at the room and I said, all I'm asking is that if you continue to come back with an executive insertion, we will continue to say yes. But you need to understand there's a cost, because we never get the chance to actually take those ideas and not rush them. So it's this last minute, got to be done, is not only impacting the things we are committing to, but we're actually not getting the yield out of doing the last minute low, what you're calling high value work actually turns out to be low value work. And it was a huge game changer. It took a lot of time. That was a slow roll approach, but the data made that conversation so rich that he did still come back, but he now had to own what he was doing. So I just wanted to share that because it might help someone else to do something similar.